Hello and welcome to Ruby's podcast. I am Ruby Alice and I'm happy to present a new segment today titled Knowledge Corner. With the improvement in technology, we are bombarded with a whole lot of information and it all goes over our heads. And living in a fast-paced world, we neither take time to store the information that we had read or listened to in our memory and hence are unable to retrieve them when needed. And that is why many times we had felt, oh, I knew the answer, but I was unable to remember it. When someone had asked us questions related to it, only after the answer was disclosed did we realize that we already knew it. This segment is brought out with the intention of helping the listeners gain knowledge and also provide additional information about the answers, and a summary of the key points will be flashed on screen which will help you to remember them later. Hope you enjoyed today's episode and please don't forget to hit the like button and also share it with others. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe today. Thank you. Come, let's get into the episode. Question number 1. This art form is a part of a 400-year-old craft tradition. It uses a type of softwood and tamarind seed paste as glue. Can you name the playthings that are made from this? And the answer is Kondapalli toys. What more do we need to know about Kondapalli toys? They are made from softwood known as Tellaponiki, which is found in Kondapalli hills of Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. Each part of the toy is carved out separately, and makku, a paste of tamarind seed powder and sawdust, is used to join the pieces, and details are added to finish the toys. They are famous for their lightweight, vibrant colors and age-old production techniques. The artisans who make the toys are referred to as Arya Kshatriyas, also known as Nagarshalu. They are said to have migrated from Rajasthan in the 16th century to Kondapalli. So the points that you should remember about Kondapalli toys are flashed on the screen now. Question number 2. Can you name the art form which derives its name from one of the tribes of West Bengal and is said to have been used in India for almost 4,000 years? And the answer is Dokra craft. What more information do we need to know about Dokra craft? Dokra craft, also known as bell metal craft, is one of the earliest known methods of metal casting, and this craft dates back to prehistoric time of the Indus Valley civilization. The Dokras use a lost wax technique known as Sirepadu, where molten metal is poured into a mold which has been made by means of a wax model to cast hollow brass objects and images. Brass scrap is used as a raw material. The Dokra Damat tribes, who are traditionally known as the metalsmiths of West Bengal, practice this technique of lost wax casting, and hence this technique is named after their tribe, Dokra. So the things that you should bear in mind about Dokra art are flashed on the screen now. Question number 3. This craft, which is said to have been practiced from the times of the Indus Valley civilization, is on the verge of extinction as it is practiced by only 2 families in North Kutch, Gujarat. Can you identify this craft? And the answer is carved-out pottery. The art of carved-out pottery or painted pottery started during the Indus Valley civilization. Khavda is a small village in Bhuj, Gujarat, at the rim of the Rann of Kutch. Craftsmen in this region have been making earthen pots for generations with the same process and designs as those seen in the Indus Valley excavations. The carved-out potters use a specific type of mud known as ranki mitti to make the pots. Women of the community use red, black and white clay-based paints to decorate each pot with distinct designs. So the points that should strike you while looking at the carved-out pottery are flashed on the screen now. Question number 4. Can you identify the art form known as Needle Wonder and the one which was once made by the sister of Guru Nanak in the 16th century is now preserved in the Gurudwara at Hoshiarpur? And the answer is Chambarumal. What more do you need to know about Chambarumal? Chambarumal are Himachal Pradesh's unique handkerchiefs that were embroidered by the queens and the royal ladies of the Chamba kingdom for wedding dowries, important gifts, and ceremonial coverings. Chamba Rumal gets its name from Chamba, a hill station in Himachal Pradesh, where it has been practiced for centuries. As mentioned in the question, Bibi Nanaki, sister of the Sikh spiritual leader Guru Nanak, is said to have embroidered one in the 16th century, and it is preserved in the Hoshiarpur Shrine, Punjab. The points that you should remember about the Chamba Rumal are flashed on the screen now. Question number 5. Widely known as panel paintings, these are done on wooden planks and are known for their rich and vivid colors. Can you identify this type of painting which was influenced by Deccani, Vijayanagar, Maratha, and even European styles of painting? And the answer is Thanjavur paintings. The additional information about Thanjavur paintings are as follows. Thanjavur or Tanjore paintings are characterized by the brilliant colors, decorative jewelry with stones and cut glasses, and remarkable gold leaf work. Adorned with rubies, diamonds, and other precious gemstones and trimmed with gold foil, Tanjore paintings were truly considered treasures. Nowadays, however, semi-precious stones are used in place of real ones, but the use of gold foil has not altered. The shine and gleam on the gold leaves used by the Tanjore style paintings lasts forever. So the points that you should remember about Thanjavur paintings are flashed on the screen now. Question number 6. Little wooden tables from the city of Gangtok, renowned world over for their changing structures and exceptional themes, uses a wood named as Kath. Can you identify this item? And the answer is Choksey tables of Sikkim. Choksey tables of Sikkim are small but heavily carved folding wooden tables which are very delicately painted and polished. As mentioned before, the tables are both foldable and portable, made in different dimensions, and were originally from Tibet. They are found with traditional Sikkimese designs like dragons, phoenixes, and the wheel of Dharma, and other wonderful patterns. The local woods, namely Kath or Singh, are used in this craft. Straight tools like ikas and curved tools like tikyu are used to carve out the three-dimensional forms. Folding tables, panels, and altars are crafted using this skill. So while looking at a Choksey table, you should remember the points that are flashed on the screen now. Question number 7. The process of painting and coloring metal and ceramic surfaces through enameling originated from Safavid, Iran. What is this art form which was introduced in India by the Mughal rulers? And the answer is Meenakari. Additional information about Meenakari. Meenakari art usually involves intricate designs and is applied as a decorative feature to serving dishes, containers, vases, frames, display ornaments, and jewelry. The word Meenakari is a compound word composed of the words Meena and Kari. Meena is the feminine variation of the word Meenu, which means paradise or heaven. Meena also refers to the azure color of heaven. Kari means to do or place something onto something else. Together, the word Meenakari means to place paradise onto an object. The Mughals introduced it into India and perfected the technique, making the design more intricate. In India, Rajasthan and Gujarat are most famous for their Meenakari artifacts and jewelry. The points that should come to your mind while looking at a Meenakari work are flashed on the screen now. Question number 8. This art form is believed to have been brought into India by the followers of Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti and patronized by the Bahmani Sultans. Can you name this art form? And the answer is Bidri Handicraft. Additional information about Bidri Handicraft. This art form gets its name from Bidar, a district in the state of Karnataka. The underlying concept of Bidri craft is beauty in contrast, and hence metals like silver and gold are inlaid on a blackened alloy of zinc and copper. Bidri art is also technically known as encrusted metalware, which involves casting, polishing, engraving, inlaying, and blackening the alloy. An amazing collection of Bidri is seen in the collection of Salar Jung Museum at Hyderabad. As mentioned in the question, it is supposed to have been brought into India by the followers of Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti and greatly patronized patronized by the Bahmani sultans. The points that are flashed on the screen are what you need to have in mind while looking at Bidri art.